It's an interesting time for business. Tariff and trade policies are dynamic, supply chains are squeezed, and cash flow, it's tighter than ever. If your business can't adapt in real time, you are in a little bit of hurt. So how do you get full visibility and adapt in real time? Over 42,000 businesses trust NetSuite by Oracle, your AI-powered business management suite. It brings accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR all under one roof. NetSuite is the #1 cloud ERP for a reason. It's your single source of truth, giving you the data and control you need to move quickly. Real-time forecasting helps you move into the future with confidence, and with AI built in, you can automate the busy work and focus on strategy. NetSuite helps you see what's stuck, what it's costing you, and how to pivot fast. If I were running a business with a lot of moving parts, I'd use NetSuite for full control over everything. Tame the chaos with NetSuite. If your revenues are at least in the 7 figures, download the free ebook, Navigating Global Trade, 3 Insights for Leaders at netsuite.com/SPI. That's netsuite.com/SPI. The perfect product launch. It's the goal for every brand marketer. High heat, fast sellout, and fans posting recipes like trophies. What do Sydney Sweeney's soap drop, Taylor Swift's tickets, and your next launch have in common? Well, they're not bought, they're bragged about. Fanfare turns your drop into a moment. Fanfare cues real fans, blocks bots, and builds launch experiences worth screenshotting. Want hype without the heartbreak? Get Fanfare's 5-step hype drop playbook with our proven success formula and make your next launch unforgettable at fanfare.io/playbook. Again, fanfare.io/playbook.
Welcome to the Smart Passive Income Podcast, where it's all about working hard now so you can sit back and reap the benefits later.
And now your host. Since the Chargers left San Diego, fantasy football is the only reason he cares about the NFL now.
Pat Flynn.
This past episode, we interviewed Eric Wooten from alteredmarriage.com. And Eric is literally right in the middle of building his business. That was the special part about that episode. Eric hasn't quite yet figured it all out. He's figuring it out. And I think that episode is going to provide a lot of relief for a lot of people because you can still make progress, yet still not even know exactly where things are headed. And as you might have heard in that episode, there were a lot of questions I asked where Eric was like, well, I'm not exactly sure, or I'm still trying to figure it out. And I'm just here to give you permission and tell you that it's okay. It's okay if you don't know exactly where you're going. It's okay if you haven't figured it all out yet. It's okay if you don't even know necessarily what your voice is or what the plan is yet. What's not okay is thinking that because you don't know those things, you don't take any action. And I think Eric's a perfect example of somebody who just went with it, right? And even in his relationship, he's still trying to figure it out in terms of how to balance his marriage and having his wife come on to the business and all this kind of stuff, even though she doesn't want to necessarily be seen or show up front. And it's just a really interesting dynamic that I think provides a lot of truth and reality to a lot of our situations, which is like, it's going to be messy, and that's okay. That is okay. I don't know of any business owner or entrepreneur who's had a non-messy journey on his or her way to success. I mean, I've had a very messy start. There were a number of moments where I almost gave up because of what other people said. There were a number of moments where I started to slow down because I didn't think I was good enough. I had put a halt on my content because I had such high standards for it. I didn't know how to manage my business well. I have made some not so great decisions financially. I have distracted myself with side projects that were actually just an excuse because the thing that I was supposed to be working on was hard and challenging. The list goes on. And guess what? It's okay. I think it's important to give yourself a little bit of grace. And maybe this is the episode you need to hear right now, even though it might be a shorter episode than normal. But maybe you need to hear those words right now. You need to give yourself grace. You need to give yourself some permission to get messy and to fail. And I'm not just speaking to the perfectionists that are out there, i.e. my younger self, who was so worried about having everything perfect because a 97% on a math test wasn't good enough, and that was ingrained in me ever since I was a kid. And the perfectionist who wanted to make sure every word, every paragraph, every title, every image was perfectly placed and correct, or else. The or else being the grammar police or anything. I mean, I've even made bigger mistakes. I had a VA on a website once. I allowed them to be in charge of selecting images without very many rules. And they chose a Google image to put on a website. And then I got flagged for it. In fact, I was getting sued for 5 figures as a result of that. Thankfully, my lawyer was able to work out a deal, but still had to pay quite a significant amount of money because of that mistake. And guess what? It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's easy to say that in retrospect, obviously. And if you're going through some stuff right now, or you've recently made some mistakes, or there might be some things that you're going through that you're just having a really hard time with, you might roll your eyes hearing somebody on the internet say, oh, it's okay, it's going to work out just fine. I mean, I rolled my eyes too. But that's usually the case, which is very helpful because when I fall into these deep, dark holes or these traps of wondering whether or not I'm good enough or this thing that I'm creating is actually going to do well, I go, well, you know what? It'll work itself out. And if it doesn't do well, it'll work itself out. I'll learn from it. As James Wedmore once said, you either get the result you wanted or the lesson you needed. And that, to me, gives me so much encouragement. You either get the result you wanted or the lesson you needed. That is huge because that means as long as you're doing, you're not failing. You might not be hitting the mark. You might not be reaching your goals or hitting those numbers, but you're at least learning and earning that lesson, or you earn the results. And the cool thing is these lessons stack up on each other so that the next time you do the thing, it's going to work out much better no matter what. You'll have at least that much more information the next time around. And you can eventually pinpoint to success. But you got to keep going, right? And I know it's hard. Now, one thing that I love to do, especially when things are difficult, is to connect with other people who have gone through this before me. And I do this all the time. In fact, twice a week, I get on a call with two amazing groups of people who I've been with for over a decade now, or one nearly a decade, to talk about the things that are going well, yes, of course, to talk about and encourage the other members of the group. But in most cases, it's needing help. It's me not sure exactly what the direction I should be going. And I get these amazing people to ask questions and to poke holes and have conversations, which force me to start thinking out loud. Because the truth is, if you just keep it all to yourself, if you're just having conversations with yourself, you're only going to get a one-sided look and a one-sided view at things. You're only going to see things from your own perspective. And so many other people with their eyes and their ears and their voices and their questions and their poking, they can provide so much value to you, even though it's uncomfortable. And the nice thing is when you are around safe people and people who you know are brutally honest because they care and you know that you're going to do the same thing for them, I mean, it's an awesome, beautiful thing. And so I would encourage you to, if you haven't done so already at this point in the year, to see which groups that you might be a part of that could add value to your life, where you could give and also get back. And that could be a mastermind group. You might connect with people at an event that you are going to or have recently gone to. And if you've recently gone to an event and haven't connected with anybody and haven't reconnected, I would highly recommend you do that for sure. Go and do that like right now. Every minute going by is a minute wasted for an opportunity, right? For a relationship that could have been had. So make sure you do that. But if you have an event coming up or you're thinking about different groups in free Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups, perhaps there's some people in there who have stepped up and you've noticed that they've provided a lot of value. You really jive with them and they're asking questions that relate to things that you're doing. I mean, connect with them on Twitter and on LinkedIn. Send direct messages. These are magical places where things can happen. And as you'll hear next week, one of my favorite things, a little teaser for next week, is this person who I have on the show who is absolutely amazing. You know, we talk a lot about the mindset and we talk a lot about the stories that we're telling ourselves and how we as children have sucked up these things in the world to shape who we are. And in many cases, that's not who we want to be. So how do we rewrite those stories? And I highly recommend you subscribe if you haven't already, because that episode is golden. It could be one of the most important episodes anybody ever listens to be honest. I look forward to the feedback in the future that I'm going to get from that episode. So that's 551 coming up. This is episode 550. But let's keep going here. Let's keep talking about putting yourself around people. In many cases, if you want to filter and find the right people the fastest, you might need to pay to get access, but not pay because it costs anything. Pay because it's an investment. And that cost, you need to rewrite that as an investment because you can get so much in return if you utilize that. And if you consider it an investment, you're going to be more likely to consider the work that's needed to be done in order for that investment to pay off versus oftentimes we get sold these magical buttons that if we pay, we're going to get riches or get this result and we don't have to do anything. And in most cases, that's never going to happen. So perhaps you might want to invest in something like SPI Pro, which is our premium community. You can apply at smartpassiveincome.com/pro, and we always have enrollment periods happening every quarter. You can come in with a cohort of students and already feel like you're a part of the community right from day one, because other people are coming in like freshmen to a college all together, and you befriend each other and you join groups and you become a part of masterminds that we place you in and join the events and come to my AMA and all these other things. It's so much fun. Maybe there's other groups. I mean, SPI Pro is not the only one. There's Upreneur with Chris Ducker, another one that comes to mind that was around much longer than mine and has had an amazing community and events to go along with it. We would love to create events for SPI Pro. It's just kind of impossible with the current state of the world right now, but we are creating events virtually. And things like Audience Driven, which brings in more people publicly, and then our private groups and sessions and co-working moments and masterminds and Ask the Experts and all this kind of stuff that we do inside of SPI Pro, plus all the other things we have planned. I mean, Jillian, who's doing an amazing job as director in there, is just crushing it. And we have so many things planned that I hope that you can be a part of. And if you are in an SPI Pro, just thank you. Eric, who was on the episode this past Wednesday, is a member of SPI Pro, and he's in a mastermind group and he's getting a lot of value. And like, if you didn't hear that, he was the winner of our challenge at the end of 2021, which is what earned him the spot on the show. But I'm really thankful he was on the show because he really brought some truth to the matter. And this takes us back to this episode, which is, it's okay if you don't know. It is almost impossible to know everything you have to do, and it's impossible to know exactly what you're doing is exactly what you need to do. It's okay, but you need to keep going. And so give yourself some permission to explore, give yourself some grace, give yourself some forgiveness. And if you don't love yourself and forgive yourself, how are you going to get other people to forgive you, right? In a way, we need to also love ourselves too. And in preparation for next week's episode, maybe this is a clue for who is this guest. But you also need to lie to yourself. There's a good way to do that and a not so great way to do that. It's not a fake it till you make it kind of thing, but it's a believe it till you achieve it kind of thing. And so make sure you subscribe because that episode is going to be amazing. Anyway, give yourself some grace today. I appreciate you. Thank you for listening to our follow-up Friday episode here, and I look forward to serving you in episode 551 next Wednesday. Cheers, peace out, and as always, Team Flynn for the win. Thanks for listening to the Smart Passive Income Podcast at smartpassiveincome.com. I'm your host, Pat Flynn. Our senior producer is Sarah Jane Hess. Our series producer is David Grabowski. And our executive producer is Matt Gartland. Sound editing by Duncan Brown. The Smart Passive Income Podcast is a production of SPI Media. We'll catch you in the next session. Have you dreamt about being your own boss, but still haven't made the first steps to making that dream a reality? Well, I get that. Starting a business can feel super overwhelming with legal forms, paperwork, finances. It's a lot. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about Taylor Brands. Taylor is a complete business builder designed to make launching your business simple and stress-free. You can register your LLC in just minutes, keeping your personal assets and the business assets separate from day one. From there, you get access to everything you need to get off the ground. Legal documents, licenses and permits, invoicing and bookkeeping tools, and even a 100-day business coaching program, all designed to help you hit the ground running. You'll also get a free, personalized business plan, branding tools, and so much more. And of course, listeners of this show get an exclusive 35% discount to get started. All you have to do is head to taylorbrands.com/SPI. That's TAILORBRANDS.com/SPI. Stop dreaming, start building with Taylor Brands. Hey, fellow podcaster, does this sound like something you've experienced? You record your podcast episode on one platform, download the files, edit in another app, then fire up a different tool just to create these social clips? Well, it can be clunky, time-consuming, and frankly overwhelming, especially for creators trying to grow. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about Riverside. Riverside is the all-in-one platform. Record, edit, and repurpose your podcast content all in one place. You just log in, record with your guests no matter where you are in the world, and just like that, studio-quality audio and high-resolution video. We use Riverside here at SPI as well now. With built-in AI, I can automatically clean up my audio, saving myself so much editing time, and it can even auto-generate clips to make promoting the show a breeze. And with Magic Clips, I can grab the best moments and repurpose them as short-form video, perfect for YouTube Shorts, TikTok, or Instagram, without re-recording a thing. So if you're tired of juggling tools and want a faster, simpler way to create and scale your content, it's time to try Riverside, built by creators for creators. Just go to smartpassiveincome.com/Riverside and use code SMART to get 1 month free on the Pro plan. That's smartpassiveincome.com/Riverside, promo code SMART.